Hello there to all my one and obies. This is only one Kenobi. Only one. And I would like to welcome you back to an episode of the Vintage Collection Wishlist. And it has been a long time since I have done a video in this series, and I'll explain why very quickly before I get into the next topic, which is BoShek. There he is spinning. I want him in the Vintage Collection. So what it is I had a series called the Vintage Collection Quick Shot Series, and I did a few videos. I did about 20 episodes, and you know, they took me hours to edit. And for those who saw them, I hope you enjoyed them, and they took a lot of manpower and labour of love to do it. I did it in a kind of a Star Wars theory style, I'd say, you know, splicing footage of figures with, you know, a voiceover. I'd start off with a voiceover, do it, and then I would edit in footage from the movies that corresponded with the character. For example, if I wanted an A-Wing pilot in the Vintage Collection, I'd have loads of footage from Return of the Jedi. And you know, to do that is very rewarding when you've done it, but it took me hours. So because I've got so much content I want to get through, I just thought I would keep things nice and simple. And I will show you some images like this, boom, BoShek, and I will just talk to you about the guy and show you some other examples of figures that he could, you know, he could be improved with, you know. But basically, I'm waffling already because it's hard to do stuff live like this. So that's how I want to do it ongoing. So I would like to start some more Vintage Collection Quick Shot Series videos, Wishlist Series videos, mistake, because there's so many figures I want them to put in the Vintage Collection. Now BoShek is such a great kind of idea because he's a Cantina patron. The figure, dare I say, which comes from the Return of the beg your pardon, the figure comes from the Power of the Jedi line. It really needs an update, and the character, you know, Cantina patrons are fantastic. They would look awesome on a Star Wars chase. And let's go in on him and have a look at him. So this is the only example we have of a BoShek, and he is old now, but there he is. Check out his flight suit. He's pretty decent enough. He looks a lot worse with his helmet on, and obviously we all know him from the movie with his helmet off, talking to Chewie. It would be really cool if we could work him into a Kenobi movie, or the Solo sequel, because it's almost like Kenobi went to him like he's met him before. I'd love them to explore that. Anyway, I'm going to do a whole video on that soon. I want to talk to you about ideas for a Solo sequel, but I want them to do a Kenobi sequel. I beg your pardon, I want them to make the Solo sequel a Kenobi movie. What I'd like to do now is, I've told you what my idea is, now I want to show you some potentials for improving the actual figure that we've got anyway. And let's have a look at BoShek. Now BoShek is significant when we talk about BoShek because the BoShek's costume there, by all accounts, the costume they chose for BoShek in Empire Strikes Back was BoShek's uniform, except in yellow. So check out the top there, look at that. Now this is an outstanding figure, the sculpt of the head and everything for BoShek, but also the flight suit, look at that. Now all subsequent Vintage Collection releases after 2007, when BoShek came out, have all got that amazing jumpsuit, flight suit style with the harnesses and everything. This is ridiculous, everybody's falling bloody over here. This video is literally falling apart. I told you this, this is the problem with doing things live, by the way. You just get me bambling on and blunders, but that doesn't matter. Some of you enjoy that. I guess if it entertains you. Oh, it's just keeping it real, alright? But anyway, here is the flight. Oh, come on, focus, man. This is one of my favourite figures as well in the Vintage Collection. This is Kean Farlander, aka an A-Wing pilot. But look at that amazing detail on the jumpsuit, the flight suit. I don't know why I keep calling it a jumpsuit. It's like the harnesses or whatever. And here is Taicho Selchu, an amazing A-Wing pilot. Yes, indeed, he's a B-Wing pilot. I beg your pardon, he's an A-Wing pilot. The green uniform. So these are awesome figures. I'd love to see him recarded on a Vintage Collection card as well. So that's just an example of how they could improve this guy, and damn it, they need to improve him. Look at him. This is an old figure now, 2000, and such a potential for a vintage figure. And I know there's people out there, because they follow my channel, people want Cantina patrons, so why don't you start with this guy? And that facial sculpt isn't bad for 2000, but man, they could really improve on that. And they could do some photorealism, and they could make a bloody definitive. I'm very passionate about the Vintage Collection, as you know if you subscribe. That's why I'm swearing there, bloody definitive. They could make a really good figure out of him. and man, he needs an upgrade. It's not like we've had him, you know, last year or anything. No, we're talking over a decade now, nearly 20 years since we've had him. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to stop there. I hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope you will enjoy this new style for the Vintage Collection Wishlist series, because, you know, man, as I say, it's so painful doing such amount of work to edit their videos, and then I know it was a while ago when I had less subscribers, and if you are new to my channel, I do recommend you check out that series anyway, and hit the like on those. But if there's a figure that you want to see come back, hit the like button on it, because it'll set the algorithms off or whatever. And also, speaking of algorithms, I noticed that the first video of that series was Luke Crate, and that's had a staggering amount of views compared to the others anyway. So that's awesome. So obviously that was either a popular choice or it was just at the right place at the right time to upload to YouTube. But anyway, BoShek, bring it on, Hasbro. This has been Only One Kenobi. Only one.